before clans, before sects, before the Masquerade. There were the Antediluvians. These are ancient beings so powerful that modern vampires consider them gods, demons, or just myths meant to terrify fledglings. But in the world of darkness, myths have a dangerous habit of being very, very real. Today, we're going to explore the origins, the powers, and the absolutely terrifying legacy of the Antediluvians, the true gods of vampires. Before we dive into the abyss, make sure you subscribe to more vampires, hit that like button, and let us know in the comments. Do you believe the Antediluvians are truly asleep, or are they already awake? So, who exactly are the Antediluvians? Simply put, they are the third generation of vampires, the direct children of the second generation, who were themselves sired by Caine, the very first vampire. Each Antediluvian became the founder of one of the great clans, passing down their potent blood, their unique curse, and their incredible power through countless generations. To most vampires, especially those in the Camarilla, they are just ancient legends, boogeymen from a forgotten time. But to the Sabbat, they are horrifyingly real, and they must be destroyed at all costs. Their existence defines the deepest fears and desires of all kindred society. They are the progenitors, the original sinners, the sleeping titans whose dreams shape the nightly struggles of their descendants. The very blood that flows in a vampire's veins is a diluted echo of their power, a constant reminder of their looming ancient presence. To understand the Antediluvians is to understand the very heart of the vampiric condition. To grasp their significance, we have to go back to the very beginning, to Cain and his curse. According to vampire mythology, Cain, the first murderer, was cursed by God for killing his brother Abel. He was cast into darkness, damned to an immortal life sustained only by the blood of others. This was the birth of the first vampire. Alone and tormented, Cain eventually created the second generation, his direct children. However, he gave them one strict warning: never create more of our kind. Of course, they didn't listen. In an act of pure defiance, the second generation sired their own childer, bringing the third generation, the Antediluvians, into existence. This single act of rebellion against their creator, their father, set in motion the entire tragic history of vampire society. It was the original sin that led to the Jyhad, the eternal war between elders, and it planted the seeds for the prophesied apocalypse, Gehenna. The Antediluvians weren't just born, they were a mistake, a transgression that would haunt their kind forever. Each of these 13 beings went on to found a major clan, and the nature of each clan is a direct reflection of its founder's personality and curse. Think of it like a dark, supernatural form of genetics. As above, so below. You have the La Sombra Antediluvian, a true master of shadows and darkness. The Tizimus Antediluvian, a horrifying shaper of flesh and land, viewing both as mere clay to be moulded. The Ventru Antediluvian, born to rule, embodying ambition and command. The Toreador Antediluvian, eternally obsessed with beauty in all its forms, both creating and destroying it. The bourgeois antediluvian, a rebel philosopher whose passions burn as brightly as their rage. The Nosferatu antediluvian, cursed with a monstrous appearance that forces them into the shadows. And the Malkavian antediluvian, the mad prophet, whose fractured mind touches upon cosmic truths. Then there are others, like the wild gangrel and the enigmatic Ravnos. We must also mention Tremor, who isn't a true antediluvian, but a powerful mage who stole immortality, hijacking a bloodline to create his own clan. Each clan carries its founder's blessing and its burden. Now let's talk about power. The power wielded by the antediluvians is so vast, it fundamentally breaks the rules of the game. We're not talking about just being really good at a discipline. We're talking about powers beyond mortal or even vampiric comprehension. These beings can exercise control over entire concepts. The La Sombra antediluvian doesn't just manipulate shadows, it is the living embodiment of darkness. They have near total command over their clan's blood. Some legends claim the antediluvians are not just individuals, but are their clans a collective, consciousness living through every single one of their descendants, feeling what they feel, knowing what they know. They possess reality warping abilities that can rewrite the laws of physics on a whim. And perhaps most terrifyingly, they have the power to rise from death itself. Killing one is not as simple as putting a stake through its heart. To face an antediluvian is to face extinction. Their power is not just a tool they use, it is an extension of their very being, a force of nature that can unmake the world. This brings us to the great debate in vampire society. Are the antediluvians asleep? Or are they awake and manipulating everything from the shadows? The common belief, or perhaps the desperate hope, is that they are in torpor, buried deep beneath the earth in ancient tombs, sleeping for millennia. But many others believe they are wide awake, their minds reaching out, pulling strings through dreams, blood-borne compulsions, and prophecy. They believe the jihad, that eternal, secret war fought between ancient vampires for power and influence, is nothing more than a grand game of chess, and the players, the antediluvians, they move their pawn princes, Primogen, entire cities across the board, playing a game that spans centuries. Every betrayal, every political maneuver, every drop of blood spilled in the name of power could simply be the will of a sleeping god, whispering commands into the minds of their descendants. The paranoia is suffocating. Is your will truly your own, or are you just a puppet on a string? This terrifying belief is the entire reason the Sabbat exists. The Sabbat is a sect of vampires that rejects the traditions of the Camarilla and embraces their monstrous nature. Their core purpose, their holy crusade, is to find and destroy the antediluvians. They believe that Gehenna, the vampire apocalypse, will begin the moment the antediluvians awaken from their long slumber. And when they do, they will be hungry. They will rise and devour all of their descendants. From the mightiest elder to the youngest fledgling, to reclaim the power diluted in their blood. To the Sabbat, killing an antediluvian isn't murder. It's salvation. It is the only way to prevent the final night and save their kind from total annihilation. This holy war drives them to commit unspeakable acts, all in the name of stopping a threat that most vampires don't even believe is real. They are the fanatics, the zealots, the soldiers fighting a war against sleeping gods. And that brings us to Gehenna. The final night. Gehenna is the prophesied apocalypse for all vampires. It is the night when the ancient gods awaken from their slumber, when cities burn under a blood-red sky, and when entire bloodlines are wiped from existence. Is it a true prophecy, a paranoid delusion, or an inevitable conclusion to the curse of Caine? No one truly knows. The signs and portents are everywhere for those who dare to look. But one truth is absolutely certain. If the Antediluvians rise, the world of darkness will be drowned in blood and fire, and it will never be the same. In the end, the Antediluvians are not just powerful characters in a story. They are the embodiment of fear at the very heart of vampire society. They are a constant, gnawing reminder that haunts every kindred. They are the living proof of a simple, terrifying truth. No matter how old you get, no matter how powerful you become, there is always something older, and it is always, always hungry. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the darkest corners of vampire lore. If you want more content like this, subscribe to More Vampires and don't forget to ring that notification bell. See you in the next one.